Alright, here we go again. This time Wounded Waters against Scotland 6. Let's get started. So Scotland, I don't know, it's not an adversary I like. I don't think the matchup is too bad. I just don't generally enjoy playing them, mostly from a multiplayer perspective. Many people enjoy Scotland a lot, that is great. Not me. Alright. Let's see what the first explorer is. And it is jungle. Let me just double check, but I believe on the first, during play, on the first explorer you do not yet add a town. This is not a place where I can run the build with the cards that I have. Let's see what the minor deck gives us today. So, set them on an ever-adjusting trail, for example, with Solve Land 3. It's generally speaking a good card. Prowling Panthers, not my favorite. Don't like it a lot. Don't like it much at all, is what I wanted to say. So that's an easy pick. Next turn I'll hopefully be able to prevent a build, because whatever the next explorer is, it will have to explore into an inland land with a single explorer, and those can be prevented with Boon of Corrupted Blood or my Right Innate Sanguinary Taint. But for this turn we need something else, and that would be set them on an ever-adjusting trail. This means I require a holy site in there, sacred site, whatever. And that means that as for presence movement, I should move out of here. I should move out of there anyway, since there's a fairly low chance that I'm going to be able to defend that land. I'd have to draft Nature's Resilience or something like that next turn. Probably not going to happen. So let's go into quick. We're going to gather this. I think we are probably going to gather it into here. Just because if it explores mountain, I'll be able to get rid of that with a combination of Boon of Corrupted Blood and my innate anyway. And also, and that is crucial, we isolate this land. So there are now no longer any adjacent cities. Alright, that was my quick. We are skipping the event. Smaller ports spring up. Yeah, that is fairly swingy anyway. We're not building in land 3 due to the isolate. Love that. And then we build a city in the inland. Okay. And then the explore is wetlands. Alright. That might have been the best explore, since this allows me to ignore, kill both of the builds. Alright, I'm going to use Sanguinary Taint here. Do I want to move the Dahan? And I think I do, probably. It's just, they're so far removed from the rest of the board in there that it's good to move them a little bit closer to the center of the board. So that was my slow. And now next turn. Already see like 2 cards that can be playable, can be played in that draft. So we could play Here There Be Monsters, or we could play Swarming Wasp. Both are 0 costs with Anima, which is great. I'm going to move this probably to here. Ideally, I would have land with Blight adjacent to any land on the board. I guess this means I'm drawing this into here. This will not be adjacent to any land on the board then, but next turn this will Blight, and then I can place a presence in there, and that will satisfy the condition. So for land 4, I cannot actually Swarming Wasp it, since I cannot draw the Blight. I need to draw the Blight in land 7, so this is not Swarming Waspable. I could Here There Be Monsters, but realistically I want to use Boon of Corrupted Blood here. It's just 1 damage, and 1 damage is not that useful against Scotland, and that like half the explorers are not even prevented by that. And once Scotland 6 starts to kick in, so many lands will actually have buildings that you rarely find an opportunity to prevent a build. So this is maybe the last one I have, so I want to take it. That means it's okay that Swarming Wasp does not actually kill an explorer this turn. So the reason I'm torn here is that yeah, the monsters is probably the better card, generally speaking. I'd rather have 3 fear, or I mean 2 or 3, but often it will be 3. Then I'd have another beast on the board, but this has fire, and I also kind of want a second fire plus animal card. It makes turn 6 easier to have a second one. Yeah. I think I go with Swarming Wasp. I could go either way here. I'm not sure which is the correct play. I'm not even sure there is a correct play. That's clearly obvious. But, I mean, aside from killing that with Boon of Corrupted Blood, of course. Alright, let's look at Hardworking Settlers. I can probably afford removing Invader cards. I usually don't run out of Invader cards, so the only real effect this has is that Stage 3 will begin 1 turn earlier. The Scotland escalation isn't actually that bad in single player, so it's not like we're mitigating a terrible escalation here. Let's look at the top side. Push the Han, I wouldn't hate that. Add a town, yeah, I kind of would hate that. And then I would take 2 more blight in here. That seems not good enough. So I can skip the Ravage. I'll just do that. -1 blight is great. I'll add a fear. And then I'll remove the bottommost level 2 and level 3 card, or stage 2 and stage 3. And then I'll place it down here so I'll remember that bees act as badlands this turn. It's probably not going to be relevant, but perhaps it is. So we ravage here, nothing happens. And then we skip the ravage here because of the bottom half of create and nerving distractions. Well, whatever, you know what I mean. So I believe we still have to, yeah, add it. Right, that was the wrong hotkey. Add a town to it though, due to exports fuel inward growth. That's basically Scotland's anti-pocketing power. Alright, and then they're not building in wetlands because I've cleared them in last row and this quick. So let's look at that. It's sands. So this explores with a town and this explores with an explorer. Now in theory this acts as a bad land in here, but I mean it's irrelevant. Kill that, move him into here, probably. And oh, I also escalate before exploring. Well, let's just move that to here real quick. I mean, I am clearly the one and only board, so I'm the one board with the most coastal buildings. To the lands with the fewest towns. We can choose any land, right? And when will the coastal card hit? Ah, it'll still ways off. So I could add it to here. It would make Django a pretty bad explore. What are my other options? I could choose that land. If it doesn't come up in a while, that would be great. I think the coastal card comes up. Yeah. It's the 6th card I draw, so I think I would be fine with that being in here. And it's only lands without towns, right? Yeah. So I can place it in lands with cities. Alright, so that's my board set in slow. I've already executed Sanguinary Retained here. I also added the Fear, I believe. I've moved the Dahan. I've basically executed the entire turn. Alright, let's draw our last miner. I mean, I only have one option here. Strictly speaking, I could also draft something like scour the land and stuff, but I mean, realistically, we want to draft animal, and it also has sun, which is nice. It's kind of a mediocre card, but maybe it's fine right now. Damage to sands is what I want this turn. So I play that, and I play one card that has animal and water, and I think that can be blood, water, and bloodlust. I usually play Wreck with Pain and Grief if I have more immediate issues. Immediate, whatever. But this game, I think, has just started very well for us. I'll have to move a presence, I move this. I expected to have a second Blight to gather into here from there, but yeah, I think this covers the entire island in range 1 of my Blight cards, which now starts to matter because I've now, for the first time, played a card that has this kind of requirement. Yeah. And then next turn I'll hit level 1 of Swell and Spell and level 2 of Sanguinary. I think looks great. I do nothing in quick. Let's flip the event. Cities Rise. Did I not skip that? No. I skipped Smaller Ports Spring Up. Okay. Cities Rise then. And the land with the most towns, replace 2 with cities. So basically these 2 are cities now. I think I can live with that. Alright. I get to push stuff from lands with bees, but I only have 1 beast and the land is empty. And then Dahan Defend, which luckily I don't need. Alright, we are ravaging in wetlands. I don't take any blight, but I do place 2 turns. Then I'm building in this land, another land 6. And then let's explore wetlands. Actually, we are pretty happy to see a 1 turn break between the wetland cards. Scotland does this annoying thing where you can, if you have a back-to-back, it will, on an inland land, it will first ravage, and even if you defend that, it will, after the ravage, add a town, and then immediately build a city, which we've avoided by skillfully drawing sands first. Alright, I still have an escalation to do, and I think the next one is my 3rd level 1 card, right? No, it's not. Right, we're playing the level 3 card next. So it could be anywhere. I think I want to go all in on land 7 being my big stack land. I feel it's better to, I mean, against many adversaries in general and also on Wounded Water specifically, to just stack the stuff into 1 land if you can, and then deal with that later. Alright, so Devouring Ants would currently kill this town, but also destroy the Dahan, so we start with Sanguinary Taint. 1 fear, kill the city, add a beast. Push the Dahan, push it where? Probably push it into here, I guess. I'm not 100% sure. I could also push it into here, but I don't think I'm going to. No, that's going to be fine. And then, so that was Sanguinary Taint. And now with Devouring Ants, I can safely execute it on land 1. And it will not destroy Dahan because he just pushed it out, right? So there's only Blood, Water, and Bloodlust left, and I should use it on one of those 2 lands. And I should probably... So this land is a little bit better to let a city build, maybe, because it has a Dahan, which means if I'm going to play Sanguinary Taint on it anyway, playing it in a land with a Dahan is a little bit better, as it can add 1 damage, and sometimes it does nothing, and sometimes that's useful. So let's just try and play for that. Add Blood, Water, and Bloodlust here to prevent the second city build. Alright, time passes. This is, by the way, then a land that it can be solved with Wreck with Pain and Grief. So that's quite nice. We're gaining that. We're going for animal. As I don't want to say always, but pretty close to always. So I should consider whether or not I wanted to pull out blight here. Definitely going to take the 3 energy option. So that leaves me with 2 presences, 1 to move and 1 to place. Where would I like to have my sacred sites? So basically I need 2 sacred sites if I want the ability to use Devouring Ant on any land on the board. So perhaps just placing the second one here and not moving any presence would be fine. That is for my presence placement. Now the question is, do I want to move my blight? It's kind of awkward with Swarming Wasps in that those 2 aren't bad lands for Swarming Wasps, but they're also the lands that are currently blighted. I could change that by moving the presence into here, but I think I'm fine with where it is currently. Alright, then let's think about this for a second. I can't draw through the water's edge. That means I'm... yeah. Misplay last turn. Slight misplay, but still a misplay. Perhaps it's fine. So the chance to explore into this land is 50%. And if I do... yeah, that works for me. Maybe that? It's kind of annoying. Maybe I should have placed the second presence in here. Yeah, let's do that. Pull the turn into here, just go all in on that land, never coming up again. And I mean, I already know that if it's not the level 3 card, the next card after that is Coastal, so that's not land 7 either, right? So 50-50 of this never coming up. So this land is now basically solved. It might get eaten by the beast. I might push a Dahan in this land. I mean, I could also gather from there, honestly. You know, that would be even better, perhaps. Yeah, pull into here, then this builds a town. I kill it with Sanguinary Taint. I don't even need a second power on that. Can use Rack with Pen and Creep on that land. That leaves me with Swarming Wasp. Where do I use it? So I could start on land 2 under the assumption that it's gonna come up soon. At the very least, it's gonna come up on turn, well, in 2 turns. So if I do that as simply 1 damage, which is, you know, not great, but as I could just do that on here, honestly, that would be even better. Yeah, pull out, do that, kill the Explorer, and then I have Sanguinary Taint open for slow, which is probably better to serve that land using Swarming Wasp and draw to the water's edge than to use Sanguinary Taint on that. Alright, let's flip the event. Farmer seek the Dahan Forage. Okay, I think you're usually supposed to take top from in that event. It kills Dahan, but alright. On each board, 2 damage to Dahan in a land with town and city and Dahan. So I would lose the Dahan in land 7. I would add a blight in some land, maybe land 2. But it is... the chance of causing a cascade is very low for Wounded Watchers, so I wouldn't hate that too much. And I've also not taken any blight yet because I've been super lucky this game. And then minus health, which is... I think this is just a good event for us. Sorry. I have to place blight, not beast. And the bottom would cause... like, the bottom is what you take if you're, like, on the edge of losing the game due to blight, but you hate it if you have to. And actually this is also part of top, right? Top is kill that Dahan, add that blight, and then the invaders have -1 health. And then I have to add disease to land with both Dahan and invaders. And there's no such land. So I cannot, I don't think, add the beast, and therefore do not kill a Dahan. That is okay with me. Honestly, having that disease would have been fine too. But I don't think that's how it works. Alright, I'll place it here again, because I have to remember that invaders have -1 health. at least, you know, buildings. Dahan threaten. Yeah, I don't have any invaders in land with Dahan. And if I had any invaders in land with Dahan, I might no longer have them because I would have killed one of them with RNGesus. Seek safety. Each player may push an explorer into a land with more buildings than the land it came from. And this is our situation really useful, and in this specific situation it is once again not useful. Alright, we are ravaging and just no plight, but it adds a town here. Then we are using the disease, land 8 has no invaders. And then we are exploring it as mountain and jungle. Yeah. In terms of explorers, I think that is fine. It has 2 lands that are built up, so I mean, we did explore our 2 largest lands, but I think that's very manageable, especially given that we've been blessed by RNG. And with which I mean I have extra damage this turn. So one thing I can do, for example, would be, or how can I best use it? I could push a Dahan into there, preventing a build, and then use Sanguinary Taint to push the Dahan again. Okay. If I wreck these, wreck with Pain and Grief, then I'm probably not pushing into land 7, but into land 8 because it's but in land 6 because it's the only land that does not act. So I could push a Dahan into here, killing a town or something, then using Sanguinary Taint on that, and kill this. I could also just keep it like that, funnily enough. And push a Dahan in, killing the town, and the Explorer doesn't ravage. There's just no good land for it to be. Yeah, so I guess I'll have to decide now. Can I clear land 2? If I can clear land 2, I think I would prefer that. It has 5, 6 health on like real health. I could kill both cities with the help of Swell and Spell and Sanguinary Taint, and then leave a town and an explorer in there. I could not in the process clear this town, however, so I would have to clear it next turn, and I don't really have the cards to do that. I'm not going to play Torch with the Water's Edge. So maybe I'll just leave something in there. Yeah, okay, so then I think the game plan is play Wreck with Pain and Grief, push these 2 into here. Then use Swollen Spell to move this Explorer into here and this Dahan into here, doing 1 damage to that city. Add a Fear, add a Beast, and do 3 damage, killing these 2 cities. And that was my Sanguinary Taint, and it also pushes this Dahan into here, killing the Explorer. So these 2 builds, just not an issue. This is a problem for next turn, and this is a problem for next turn too, it has a disease. I could have solved that with Rack, but I think it's correct to solve this land 4 instead. And I think that were all my powers, right? Rack on land 4, and then Swell and Spell and Sanguinary for land 2. Ideally I would have liked to clear it entirely, but yeah. Another advantage of doing it this way is that there's no adjacent city to land 3. So it will not build. And that is good against Scotland. Oh, and I cheated. Yeah, I cheated. So, I have to redo that a little bit. So since it's Scotland, it explores with a town there. So I think that was the state before. Where did that explorer come from? Oh yeah, it used to have 2 cities, a town, I see. So basically the 2 explorers in there were both from the explorer. So if I push my Dahan from here into there, it still works with regards to killing cities. But I cannot push an explorer from land 3. So I think what would have been the correct play was to push... I think do it anyway. And then this just has a town there now. It's kind of awkward. I think it's fine though. I think it's fine. I'm just not 100% sure if I can solve these 3 lands. Oh well, let's draft a card. I have a bunch of energy. Should I could, if I wanted to. Wait, give me a second. I started the... Yeah, I'm sorry, but here comes the part where I have to do the math and see if I cheated on energy accidentally, because it decides whether or not I could draft a major here, and that is kind of important. So I start with 4, and I don't get any energy until turn 3. On turn 3 and 4, I gain 1 energy. So I'm at 6 energy gained in total, and I also on turn 4 gain 3 energy from choosing this growth option, so I'm at 9 energy gained in total. And then in turn 5, which is the current turn, I gain 2 energy, 1 from my general income and 1 from the growth option. So I should be at 11 energy gained in total, and I should have spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in fact, I'm 1 energy off. I should have 5 energy left, which means I should be able to draft a major, which I'm now going to do. Also going to choose this. I've forgotten to place this card here, but it's mostly a reminder anyway. And I did use the damage. And then this goes here. Look at, now let's look at the cards. Insatiable Hunger of the Swarm. You'll probably flip the black card. But I mean, it does good, really good damage. Would I be using that on land 7? I mean, I could, like, take it and play it once, right? It would do 2 damage for adding beasts, 2 damage for gathering beasts. Then each beast would do 1 fear and 2 damage to invaders, and 2 damage to Dahan. There are no Dahan in there. So basically it would do 12 damage, right? I think that has to be worth it. Can I afford to play it this turn? And the answer is I have Sowing Wasps. So, yes. I should be able to pay for it exactly. That is... I think that is really a good turn. So I have to play these specific cards, I believe. Oh no. I was thinking I was going to hit both my Innate on 4 power and the Sanguinary Taint on level 2. But I don't have the cards to do that. I need to play Swarming Wasp because it is 0 cost. And then I need to play a card that has, in theory, to hit everything, Sun and Water and Animal and Flame, which is Fire. And there is no such card. So I can now choose whether or not to hit the latest level of Water's Taste of Ruin or the second level of Sanguinary Taint. I think it's probably... Let me think about that for a second. With the second level I could clear land 2 or land 3. Probably land 2 and push it into land 1 would be the best. So in that sense, it doesn't really matter that much that I'm missing the highest level. So I guess that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go water here, which activates Sanguinary Taint, allows me to kill the city they're building. I'm going to pay the energy. I'm going to flip the blind card. So let me think about this for a second. I also do like 2 damage in theory. I could only use it in very specific lands though. So one thing I would be doing would be innate here, push them into land 1. Then the second thing would be to... sadly, don't have the option of killing land 3 as well. Yeah, I'm playing entirely in quick this turn except for sanguinary taint. This makes my legs turn a little bit weaker. Okay. I can... No, I cannot gather into here, huh? I was thinking of maybe adding a beast here. Okay, well here's what we're going to do. We're going to Swarming Wasp here. Does 1 damage to that town. Does nothing in of itself. But there's now the chance that a 1 beast damage event kills the town. Maybe that's 10%, maybe that's 15%, but still, like, that is something. And then I'll add 1 damage. Do I need 1 damage here? Let me count. 9, 13? Yeah, so let's add 1 damage there. With Wound of Corrupted Blood. Then Insatiable Hunger of the Swarm. Will add a Blight, killing my beautiful presence. Then it will add 2 beast, doing 2 damage in the process. Then I will gather 2 beast, doing 2 more damage in the process. And then it will do 4 fear, 1 for each beast. And then it will do 12 damage in total. So that is 9 damage, and that is another 3 damage. And then it destroys a beast. That is not a beast. Alright. So yeah, that cost me a presence, and yeah, that cost me a blight, but I mean, I have 3 level 1 fear cards now. That is how much fear that was. Alright, and that was all of my quick, I believe. No, it was not. I still have to execute Water's Taste of Ruin. So I'm going to gather this into here, do 2 fear, because I did not have enough fear cards already. Push that into here. Now it's my quick. Oh, my quick is over. Alright, let's flip. I'm stage 2. Invaders do +1 damage per land in which they're ravaging, but these lands are empty, so I don't care. Weasling Outbreak on each board, add Deceased to the land with Jungle Wetland. It can only be this land, so let's add the Disease. Maybe not as good as killing the beast, but still, I'll take it. And remove 1 blight from a land with at least Tetherhorn. That is, especially in light of us just adding a blight, this is just, I don't know, game wants us to win this one, and I'm okay with that. Let's have 5 level 2 fear cards then. Panic by Wild Beast. Each player adds 1 strife to land or adjacent to beast. Skip the normal build and explore actions in land with beast. I'll add that here so I remember in the later phases. Is there any... yeah, if I add the strife here, then this land is basically solved. I mean, it could also like have 1 damage on there, but I don't think I will. It would mean I have to sanguinary taint land 5 specifically. Although, you know what? Maybe I don't do that, because this is going to explore and coast. We know what the next card is. We know the next card is coastal. So we can just add a town there, and then it's a good sanguinary taint target. That seems good. Can I do it here? With or chasing to beast. Yeah, seems fine. Then angry mobs. I don't have that many explorers. So all it does is kill this 1 explorer. If the other one dies as well, I'd be happy, but this card can be insane in some cases, but in this case it's just kinda Nerves Fray. I get to add 2 strife to land 6, let's say. I mean, I could add it to land 1 too, because they're going to explore here and whatnot, but I don't know. I think I'll clear my coast next turn or the turn after in the latest, so. Dahan attack. Each player chooses a different land with Dahan. 1 damage for Dahan there. I mean, yeah, I had this whole plan about how to deal with that land, and it turns out it's kind of irrelevant now. Maybe I'll still do it. Flee from dangerous lands. I can push towns or explorers from lands with... I was hoping I could push from here, but I cannot. I don't have wilds or badlands, so I can only push from lands with the Han, and there's no such land. I mean, I have lands with the Han, they just don't have any invaders. I know, that's a first world problem if I've ever had one, so I'm going to ravage in those two. Since they are in reach one of these towns, I will add towns again. It's so hard to prevent that. You have to be pretty much won the game for that not to trigger. Alright, but I'm lucky with my explorers. I haven't had a single back-to-back yet, so I guess in the case that I killed that, I'm going to explore into here. And then add a town here and there. And then, wait, give me a sec. First of all, I skipped the build set. But also, I forgot about Panics by Wild Beasts. So, I did the Ravage, and I did the post-Ravage towns, and then I built. But all of my build lands were empty, except of this, and it doesn't build due to Panic by Wild Beasts, so nothing happens. Now, the Explorer. It is coastal. Alright, I don't explore into here, I don't explore into here at all, which means I have to place a town here. Out of all the explorers I do end up executing, 2 of them have to be towns, so I don't have a choice here, is how I believe this works. This is just one of the fear cards that are good payoffs for spirits that have lots of feasts and lots of lands. There's just a bunch of these, it's pretty nice. Alright, then it's my slow. I have Sanguinary Taint. I have this land that's gonna come up next turn. I could also do a damage there, kill it with a Tahan. I'm not sure. At this point, how do I win? Can I kill? I don't think I can get a town victory that quickly. I think it's just gonna take a couple more turns. I would really need to pocket the inland to go for a town victory here, because the Scotland condition will just keep adding towns. Like next turn I will add a town here and here, unless basically the entire island is cleared. So it's really hard to pocket here. I don't actually kill that much here, so I think the correct play is you Sanguinary Taint on here, kill that, and then that's that, right? Time passes. I am going bottom track. I realized I should have not played Boon of Corrupted Blood once I realized that I was not going to hit the highest level innate on Water's Taste of Ruin. I thought of it and then forgot about it again. That happens to me often. Alright, here we go. And then I can place one more of these. Let's place it here. I'm not sure. Do you want to gather that blight? Not specifically, no. Is this clearable? The answer is not really. I only do 3 damage there. And also, where would I push it into? If I had defense, I could push it into here. I've taken the energy growth, and I needed to. So there's not really any place for me to... I'm not drafting any cards that I could use here. I think it's probably still correct to do that. Could I kill those 2? Yeah, I could clear that land with my innate, with Ruin, Water Taste of Ruin and Quick. I could not clear that as well. Maybe play that. Would mean that next turn I have no way to hit my innate on max level. But I think that's fine. I'm not 100% sure yet about what I'll do next turn, but it's not gonna be bad with Rack anyway. If I had not played Boon of Corrupted Blood last turn, but rather played, I don't know, set them on an ever-twisting trail, then the next turn I could guarantee to hit Water Taste of Ruin on max level again. So that was a misplay for sure. Alright, what do I use it on though? Oh wait, so here's something else. Since I'm playing Devouring Ants, I don't need Boon of Corrupted Blood for the Sun. So instead of reclaiming this, I could reclaim any other card as long as it's... What is it? Fire. So one thing I could be doing is play Sowing Wasps again. And then I could try again to kill this town with the beast, but also it would save me an energy. And that would help next turn, when I could maybe draft a major. Alright, I think I'll add a beast here. They just do good things, as we just noticed. And then I'm going to use What is Taste of Ruin. I'm going to draw this beast, doing 1 damage there. I'm going to do 2 fear, and they're gonna kill each other. And then I'm going to push this into here where it will die. So that was my quick. Even if this dies to the beast in event, these are still going to spawn the Scotland towns, but what can you do, right? Event. An Ominous Storm. I'm terror level 2. How many cards do I have in play that generate fear? And the answer is 1. So I get to remove 1 health worth of invaders. I'm never sure if stuff like that counts. I mean, it has 1 health. I'm not gonna do it here. It probably counts, but I ought to clarify that eventually. So yeah, just to be sure that I'm not cheating any more than I already do accidentally, going to remove that explorer. It lands with beast or badlands. 1 damage in beast. Yeah, see? That is why we did that. Eventually you hit. Just, place enough beast, eventually you will hit a beast event. Alright, 1 damage to a Dahan and a land with badland or beast. I don't know. Here? Who knows? On each board with buildings and 5 of your Dahan. This is the sport, because I have killed a Dahan earlier. Due to that event, whatever its name was. Let's destroy this presence. Really nice to be playing animal, by the way, if you'd allow the tangent. If I was playing the water version of Wounded Waters, that is the serene version, where you only get to downgrade if you move stuff into your own lands, then destroying presences hurts. But for animal, it's pretty much whatever. As long as I have coverage of the board, it's fine. Alright, so the second level does not trigger. I have more than 3 Dahan on the board. Removes 1 from a coastal land. That is nice. And then removes 3 health from a land with there's no such thing. And there's no invaders in lands with disease, and there's also no invaders in lands, so this is just generally not trigger. So these are the Scotland 6 towns. Hooray! And then there's a city here. And then we explore into mountain wetlands, which, since it's impossible to pocket, happens. Alright. So one thing I can do is I can use Sanguinary Taint on that, push a Dahan into there, damage the city, Devouring Ants at first, so it dies. Still leaves a town left that is unstrived. So maybe that is not the play. I could also kill the city. Yeah, that seems correct, right? Can I get a Dahan into it there? No, I don't have any Dahan movement except for Sanguinary Taint. Alright, so kill the city with a Sanguinary Taint. I haven't done the fear yet? No. So let's do the fear. Then, with Devouring Ants, kill the town. And 1 extra fear from the card is off. Alright, so that land is now solved. And then, wait, I explored with non-explorer, should be a town. Then I have Bloodwaters and Bloodlust. Ah, that land now wants to strive. Sorry. Not Cascade. What is the word I'm looking for? Blight. It wants to blight. Yeah, that is where Reckon with Pain and Grief would have been a good card, but also I needed the sun here, so. Also, this land still exists. I have Blood, Water, and Bloodlust. Could solve this, could solve this. Those could also be solved by the Beast Damage event. I think we are looking at a city victory here, right? Just need a little bit more fear. So the only thing I'm going to concern myself with is planting cities. That happens by placing that disease here. And I think that was my snow. Ideally, those lands, like, these lands never ravage. I got 2 quick phases and a slow phase, and it should be very possible to achieve the city victory before then. Alright. Now's my... I think what I'm going to do is play this and then draft a major. If it costs 3, I reclaim Swarming Wasps. If it costs 4 or more, I don't play it, I guess. I could also just draft a miner. What do I need from this turn, honestly? Actually, no, I cannot clear those both, right? No, I think the miner is just... The miner is safer. Majors are swingy. Call to migrate. Gift of Utterant Days. Cycles of Time and Tide. So actually, Call to migrate is good here, since it allows me to hit my knight at full strength. I had not expected that. Alright, does it matter here? I've set this to water for now, but actually let's set it on any again. Doesn't matter, this way I can still decide in event which of the elements I want. Right, I drafted, which means I had to place 1 presence only, place it here. I guess place it here for full holy site coverage of the entire board except for that. No, for every land, yeah. Alright, does that work? I can set them on an ever-adjusting trial for one of these lands, but it's pretty irrelevant. Boon of Corrupted Blood for the other, I guess. What do I do with that? That is the real question. I guess the only real answer is Water Stays different, right? Alright, let's flip. And then pull into here. Just 1 damage. 2 fear. It does damage to no one. It cannot damage itself. Pretty dumb, right? And then push it into, I don't know, who cares here? Then set them on ever-twisting trial, push that into here, and isolate this, I guess. And then Boon of Corrupted Blood, I guess kill the town. If I gain a Strife Ignore, I flip the Blight card, but I don't think I can lose. So, yeah. Alright, let's flip. We are still healthy. Choose a land with a city built there. Yeah, I'm happy that it's not, what is it, urbanization, the event that spawns cities, because it would perhaps delay my win. This does not do anything. I get to push buildings from lands with beast. Sure. I mean, does not matter. Actually, one thing I can do is push this into here and then gather that Dahan and a defense too, right? So I guess it kills a town. Then chooses a different land with Dahan. In each land 1 damage and defend 3. Sure, I mean, whatever. Do 1 damage, that defend 3. Does not matter in the slightest. Alright, I add a Strife to this town. It now has 1 health and it also has 1 damage, which kills it. Yes, that is how it works. No, don't ask me why. And yeah, Dyson Ravage, Strife works normally. They don't get any towns because they are coastal. Then they build regularly in this land only. And then they explore. I don't know. This. They don't explore into here. They explore into here. Alright, and all I need to do is reach tier level 3 now, which I guess I'm going to add this one here. It's already done. Yeah, good game, good game. In terms of luck, I think this was a lucky game. You would usually flip the Blight card against Scotland. If you get some bad first Ravages, especially in coast, it's just nothing you can do. If your first Explorer is land 2 on this board, then it will Ravage, it will Blight, I mean, barring some events or fear cards perhaps, but generally speaking it will just Blight and it will add 2 Blight, and then probably you'll get some Blight somewhere as well. I think this game I took like 1 damage from Ravage maybe, and usually you take like 3 or so. So you flip the Blight card normally, but you still win. The pocketing thing is just not something that works really against the adversary. Like you saw it in this game, even late into the game, it was almost impossible to pocket. This was a lucky first draft. I think Sowing was good, but okay. This was also, I guess it sped up the game significantly by clearing out that land. I think the alternative move is to let it go. I probably couldn't have solved it, so I would have just let it through once. I knew that the next explorer after the Ravage in land 7 was gonna be coastal, so it wasn't like it was going to come up again back to back, and also didn't get any back to backs when it still mattered. Yeah, lucky game I guess, but still, like, Scotland is usually beatable, even if this was one of the like easier games. Anyway, good game.